Ever notice how ads always pop up at the worst moments? When the killer's identity is about to be revealed. During that perfect meditation flow. On Amazon Music, we believe in keeping you in the moment. That's why we've got millions of ad-free podcast episodes, so you can stay completely immersed in every story, every reveal, every breath. Download the Amazon Music app and start listening to your favorite podcasts ad-free, included with Prime.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. Again, go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20.
You're listening to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. It has been a busy day of Real Housewives Bravo-related news. So, of course, if you are a podcast listener, shout out to you because you get the special episodes that we post here exclusively on the podcast. And if you haven't already, be sure to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And if you're a Club Kempire member, that is the paid Apple Podcast subscription. Please understand, I will be dropping an episode between now and tomorrow revealing more of the tea that I found out when it comes to Housewives. I can't even just say it was just one particular city. There's just so much more to talk about. But I did reveal some stuff in today's videos, but I'll be posting some of that here. So before we even get into any of that, you may have seen by now that the Real Housewives of New Jersey, they're going to start filming in the spring, according to Deadline. Let me just report to you what Deadline is saying. Okay, so according to Deadline, they said the Garden State is about to bloom again this spring as Bravo has renewed the Real Housewives of New Jersey for season 15. After almost 2 years off the air, Real Housewives of New Jersey will pick up cameras again this spring with Teresa Giudice, Melissa Gorga, and Dolores Catania set to return. This comes after I reported to you guys earlier today that Margaret Josephs has confirmed that she will not be returning. She says that she was in conversations with the network since December. She's currently in the Dominican Republic, according to sources. She didn't confirm this, but she is on the set of this new reality show that Tamar Braxton is a part of and Kenya Moore. I'll reveal more about that in Club Kempire because I heard some things. So stay tuned for that. So Deadline continues. He said the reality series went on an extended hiatus, a pause, dare I say, following an explosive finale on August 2024 that showcased the Housewives as completely divided. Bravo opted out of a traditional reunion because of a rift between the OG star Teresa Giudice and her sister-in-law Melissa Gorga had split the group. Dolores Catania served as a mediator at the reunion set at the restaurant where they had filmed the finale months before. Giudice has driven most of the drama of Real Housewives of New Jersey since it premiered in 2009. Her family dynamics have been central to most of the storylines in the series. The show without Teresa would have been detrimental to the franchise's future. As Teresa's sister-in-law, Melissa has also been a core cast member of the series, joining in season 3. The pause in filming seemingly helped Teresa and Melissa reflect on what is important in life. Who wrote this, Bravo? Did y'all write this up and send it over to Deadline? That's what it's feeling like. And they both concluded that choosing their family was more important than any drama on an unscripted show. And you may recall after they recently reunited, Andy was like, we want to give them time to let them heal and figure it out on their own before Real Housewives of New Jersey. And we all said, this is a scheme that Andy set up for people to be like, because they didn't want to choose. Remember, people were like, we don't want Teresa. We don't want Melissa. And in any iteration, there's been so many rumors about New Jersey and what it's going to look like with Teresa or without. Teresa was going to get her own show. Remember all of these rumors? And Andy kept on saying, don't believe anything until I say it. I still don't believe anything that comes out of Andy's mouth because he just recently said that Real Housewives of Rhode Island does not have any dud episodes. Okay. And look, and I will give it a watch because a lot of you were sleeping on, what's the show? Salt Lake City, before Salt Lake City turned into what it turned into. So Deadline continues, it said the pause in filming seemingly helped Teresa and Melissa reflect on what's important in life, et cetera, et cetera. With Teresa and Melissa being good, the rest of the pieces of Real Housewives of New Jersey return seem to fall into place. As of now, Dolores is the only cast member confirmed to return. Dolores has a long history with Teresa and is a fan favorite on the show. And Dolores is good friends with Melissa and has remained good friends with Melissa even after the show. The news of Real Housewives of New Jersey's renewal came the day that Margaret Josephs also confirmed that she would not be returning to the franchise after 7 seasons. 7 successful seasons. No matter if you liked no matter if you liked Margaret Josephs, she had some iconic moments in New Jersey. It's hard to join a show that was already so well established and make a name for yourself. And the way that she ended last season, she was probably the only one that a lot of people were like, you know what, bring Margaret back. Because she delivered when it came to the group. And she was friendly with everyone still in the group besides Teresa. But okay. She announced that she wasn't going to be coming back. Fine. I find it interesting. Deadline released this story literally within the hour that Bravo confirmed the news. This is why I always say to you guys, pay attention. The media is bought and paid, especially now you see that the media, shout out to the age of Aquarius where all these systems are being toppled over. Google schmoogle, what happens during the age of Aquarius. We are now back in the age of Aquarius. And I'm not surprised that a lot of these systems and beliefs and things, the blindfolds that we've had over our eyes when it comes to media, when it comes to our political figures, when it comes to celebrity, are being pulled back. And we're like, oh my gosh, what is happening here? So I believe as soon as I saw this article, I was like, Lord, Bravo, you did not wait a second to roll this out, because I heard, according to my sources, that certain stars of Real Housewives of New Jersey were having conversations today, and I believe that these conversations were just confirming we're going to be announcing today we're moving forward with Real Housewives of New Jersey, blah, 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 blah. In the comment section of Margaret's post about not returning, Danielle Cabral, who was one of the newbies that were a part of Real Housewives of New Jersey. So it looks like Danielle and Rachel are not coming back. Danielle in Margaret's post said, "What? Why am I always the last to know? To me, you were the GOAT. You went out with the greatest mic drop of all time. Love you. Enjoy the peace." I find it interesting that they decided not to move forward with the newbies that they had added most recently, but I'm not surprised because I feel like they were lower on the scale of what they feel like is going to help carry New Jersey into this new era. But they've been trying to figure this out for a while. Jen Fessler, who, if you've been watching my recaps over the years, I've enjoyed Jen Fessler on the show. I thought she was actually a really good friend addition. But it seems like people have mixed feelings about her. And this is why I like her, because she posted her picture, but with a clown face emoji over her face, or an AI version of it. And she posted this saying, "Jen Fessler now available for birthdays, weddings, bar and bat mitzvahs, house parties, window cleaning, your own personal quote friend of," with the caption saying, "I'll always be your friend, inquire within." Some people are dragging her for this, but this is what I liked about Jen. She didn't take herself too seriously on the show. I thought she was a good addition. She still was able to navigate being friends with Teresa and Melissa at the same time. You literally see on this post that she gets it. And there were rumors that she was going to be considered coming back. Apparently, that fell through. I believe these conversations were being had as late as today when it comes to who was going to be coming back. And I think Margaret decided whatever they were offering was not good enough. I'm open to see what New Jersey is going to look like, but I will tell you this. I haven't missed Jersey. And Jersey is definitely in my top 5 all-time favorite cities of the Real Housewives, but I didn't miss it because it became so toxic. And I'm not going to even just blame the Housewives for it becoming toxic. I'm also going to blame the fan base and the bloggers and the content creators that were just as toxic and getting in the mix and spreading all this information. There still are. I still see it. Anytime you talk about New Jersey, I still see it. So if this is what's going to continue to be when New Jersey returns, I'm out. It's just not worth it for me. I'm just not worth it for me. I will remember Jersey as it was, but if it continues with the toxicity or the fakery of it all, I'm out. But we shall see what this will look like. 2 years of not being on the air by the time it actually airs. We shall see. We shall see if the Melissa and Teresa reunion is actually genuine. I will say what felt genuine was them finally telling the truth about each other in that last season. Like, I never wanted to be your sister. I never wanted to. I can't stand you. That was probably the realest these two have ever been. But we shall see. Because we already know how Teresa likes blind loyalty, and we also know how Melissa is not a follow fashion, as the Jamaicans say. Okay? I have to talk about Pinky Cole. Pinky Cole is in the news as well. As Pinky Cole filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and we talked about this, Miss Esquire called in. There's a whole video where we talk about how bankruptcy is not as bad as people want to make it out to be, okay? However, it looks like it's probably bad for Pinky Cole. Pinky Cole went on her social media when the bankruptcy news came out and pretended she was being kicked out of her home. She's like, what bankruptcy looks like to the internet, basically. And now it looks like her joking, her getting kicked out of the home. TMZ's reporting that she was locked out of her house. No, by creditors. Locked out of her house by creditors. Real Housewives of Atlanta newbie Pinky Cole rushed to bankruptcy court after she claims a creditor seized her home and changed the locks. According to court docs obtained by TMZ, Pinky said that she owns a fancy property in Georgia, a 6-bedroom, 4-bathroom, 2,814 square foot home in the city of Loganville, about an hour east of Atlanta. TMZ previously reported that Pinky, who is the founder of Slutty Vegan and several other businesses, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy earlier this year. In the new filing, Pinky claims that after she filed for bankruptcy, Guardian Asset Management seized the Loganville home, placed a notice in the street-facing window, and changed the locks. How'd they do that? Did they know she wasn't? They had to know she wasn't home. Pinky says that her lawyer tried to contact Guardian and explain their actions were improper since the bankruptcy filing paused any collection efforts. The RHONJ star said that the seizure is causing extreme financial harm because she needs to rent the property in order to bring in income, and said that she has a prospective tenant with a lease set to start on April 1st. Damn, how bad was it before she decided to file for Chapter 11? It had to be that bad for one of the creditors to lock her out of her own home. That's crazy. The creditor has yet to formally respond. So where is she now? In other bankruptcy docs, Pinky states that she owes millions in debt and is currently unemployed with basically no income aside from a $15,000 a month her husband earns. So I wonder if we're going to see some of this play out during the season of Real Housewives of Atlanta, which is set to premiere in 2 weeks. This is going to be interesting because at first I was like, you know what? We can't just jump to conclusions in regards to her filing for bankruptcy, but it seems like things are bad. And based off the trailer, her talking to Angela Oakley saying, I should have bought your foreclosed homes. Girl, you can't afford to buy that. Not the joke is on you. I keep telling you, y'all keep messing with us Tauruses, but we are always redeemed. Always redeemed. Come on, Angela Oakley. Lord, speaking of Angela, we have more to talk about in regards to Drew Sidora versus K. Michelle. We've got an update when it comes to Kandi and her divorce settlement. She's responding to the rumors that she's paying Todd millions of dollars. And of course, I have more updates and exclusives on the Real Housewives of Potomac and their filming for the season, which is set to begin in 10 days. And don't forget, guys, subscribe to TheKempire because I'm going to drop some tea, like I said, between tonight and tomorrow when it comes to what's going on over there in Potomac. The Bravo universe is in a tizzy today because there's Real Housewives of New Jersey news happening. There's an exclusive report, and I got some tea on Real Housewives of Potomac's casting for next season. And Andy Cohen is breaking his silence on the Real Housewives of Miami's pause. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the Bravo universe, and there's only so much I can tell you in regards to what I found out this morning, because so many of you were hitting me up yesterday about the Reality Blurb story about Real Housewives of Potomac casting. So I had to reach out to multiple sources to verify some of what's being reported. And there are some discrepancies. And one of the things that we have to keep in mind is that when it comes to this type of news, until something is signed on the dotted line and they start filming, a lot of this stuff could change. And that goes for Real Housewives of New Jersey as well. But before we get to Real Housewives of New Jersey, let's talk about the Real Housewives of Miami. The fans, I have never seen the fans react this way about a city being paused. And it makes me wonder, very much like Stephanie, who said this on social media, all of you are reacting this way, but were you guys watching? Because the ratings do not reflect. Because according to Variety, the reason why they put Miami on pause is because of low ratings. Low ratings over there on live ratings, low ratings over there on Peacock. And according to a source that I spoke to, the ratings on Peacock were abysmal for Real Housewives of Miami. I'm not surprised, but I'm also surprised because, I do love Miami. I don't understand why you guys don't like Miami. My community likes Miami because you guys show up for our recaps. My recaps for Miami equate to my recaps for Beverly Hills. It equates to my recaps of Salt Lake City. So I don't get where the ratings are not doing well over there. But I've said this before. It's so interesting how they cite live ratings when it's convenient for them. But what I've heard, according to some sources, is that the Peacock ratings for Real Housewives of Miami are abysmal. And I hate to hear that because just because the ratings are abysmal doesn't mean that the quality of the show is the same. I have seen that Larsa has been taking shots at the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She's just like responding to Dorit's situation with her pre-foreclosure, and she was like, our mortgages are paid. She doesn't understand how RHONJ is getting another season, and their last season was terrible, and their ratings were terrible. This is what I can appreciate about Larsa. Larsa's never going to hold back. And when Larsa goes to hell, she really goes to hell. And she doesn't care. I kind of like that in The Housewife. She doesn't care. She's like, I don't care if you have me back on the show. She's going to take all the shots. And I can appreciate that. And she knows that they'll probably bring her back for next season. Because word on the street, I forgot who they said they were. There were so many different reports on who was coming back for Real Housewives of Miami versus who wasn't coming back. There's been so many different reports. I can't remember. They were talking about how Adriana and Lisa Hochstein were also reportedly not set to come back either. Lisa was the first person to say, the show has not been canceled. There are a few things happening behind the scenes. I don't know if I believe those reports. Don't believe everything you read, especially on Facebook. Some of y'all reading Facebook and believing everything. The fake news on Facebook has been abysmal since this new administration. Like, they are just allowing whatever to be posted on Facebook right now. But I've digressed. Andy Cohen, on his Sirius radio program, spoke about the Real Housewives of Miami.
Really misty on Saturday. I texted Lori Waring Peterson, and I texted all the producers from the...
It was the anniversary of the premiere date.
It was the anniversary of the premiere date.
That's cool.
Sherry Levine, Doug Ross, Alex Baskin, and Kathleen French. It's like, happy 20th anniversary. I mean, it's wild. It is wild that it's been 20 years. I did want to say Housewives of Miami. There's so much.
Yeah, you got a lot of heat.
Talk about it. I did. I get the credit and I get the blame.
Right.
And I will say,
as you should, because you've made millions of dollars off of these women. You wanted to meet, you've given yourself a show over there at the network that gets abysmal ratings, yet they keep that on because it's a cheap show to produce. So that's why it stays on. And so I never feel sorry for Andy when people are like, oh my God, Andy, this is your fault. You wanted to be to be in the spotlight. There's so many producers that make Housewives and make these decisions. There's so many suits that makes these decisions. I know Andy's not the end all be all. I've said this countless times, but he's wanted to be the face of the network because it feeds his ego. So when it's tough, I don't feel sorry for Andy Cohen.
This was not my decision. And by the way, Look, I'm an EP on all these
Did you hear what he said? He said it was not my decision. Okay.
shows. If it was up to me, they would be
On all the
rolling all the time. And
Exactly. He says, if it was up to me, they would be rolling all the time. What did I tell you guys, my speculation on what happened here when it comes to Real Housewives of Miami? I believe the network heads over there at NBCU said to Andy Cohen, you want to bring back this terrible show that did incredibly terrible. How many times can I say terrible? You want to bring back Real Housewives of New York that didn't do well. You want to reboot it again after the unsuccessful reboot. And you want to launch a new city. We can't have all of these shows and Real Housewives of Miami that's not rating high come back at the same time. We can't be in production when we are putting all of our eggs into the Real Housewives of New York basket. I believe he was asked to choose between them, and he chose New York.
I mean,
Well, it's not
better for
canceled,
me.
right? It's just
but
paused.
Yes, exactly. Thank
He's like, it's just paused.
you, John.
Well, that happens a lot.
And frankly,
He says that happens a lot. That only happens over there at Bravo. Bravo created this whole pause narrative to lessen the blow to fans. Being put on pause in entertainment, there is no guarantee that they will bring you back. So that is a cancellation. So technically, regular Robyn, all these people, NECA, all these people are on pause until they're not. No, you're fired. You're not getting any sort of funds from the network. Stop with this whole pause narrative now. It was canceled. Doesn't mean it can't come back. The comeback on HBO was canceled, but they brought it back. How many years later?
I'm happy that people are so passionate about it. And I hope they tell their friends to watch. This is a ratings game after all.
All of a sudden, now it's a ratings game. Before, we we don't pay attention to ratings. Da-da-da-da. That's unimportant. We pay to Pay attention, y'all. Because then I'll be fighting for my life with y'all when it comes to this stuff. Ratings are not that important. I watch on Peacock. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right. Moving on from there, because I'm tired of fighting about Real Housewives of Miami. I'm tired of talking about Real Housewives of Miami. Real Housewives of New Jersey. You may have seen the news by now. Margaret Josephs has confirmed that she will not be back. She literally is in the Dominican Republic. You could see just from her background. She's one of the people that has been cast on this new Amazon Prime reality show. They haven't confirmed this news yet, but I told you that Tamar is on it. Kenya Moore is on it. Sidebar. I have a lot of exclusives. I probably should save this for our Club Kempire. Club Kempire, I'll save a good juicy one. More details in the Club Kempire Apple podcast. Subscribe today, okay? But I heard Tamar is acting a fool, y'all, over there in the Dominican Republic. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. She's acting a fool. Club Kempire members, I will reveal more later, okay? Anyway, back to this. So Marge from the Real Housewives of New Jersey announced that she will not be returning. She says that she's been having conversations with the network since December. By now, you may have seen the information come out that Melissa, Teresa, and Dolores are going to come back with 3 other newbies. If you attended the Kempire After Dark live show, we had someone in the audience say that it's not completely a wrap for Margaret. I think Margaret probably had her final conversation either today or this week. And that was I'm thinking, this is speculation. This is not confirmed. This is not from a source. I'm believing that Margaret had conversations with the network. They couldn't come to terms with what she would like in order to return. Because let's be honest, they would be silly not to ask Margaret back. The way she performed during last season, no matter if you're Team Teresa or Team Margaret, it doesn't matter. Just based off the performance, Margaret stepped up last season and performed, okay? So I'm sure they've been going back and forth trying to figure out probably terms, money, whatever it may be in order for her to return. I believe they didn't come to an agreement. From what I'm hearing, there are conversations being had when it comes to Real Housewives of New Jersey literally today. So don't be surprised if you hear more information in regards to Real Housewives of New Jersey and them solidifying the cast. I also just saw that Melissa Gorsuch celebrated a birthday, and even Teresa posted a special message to Melissa. Melissa responded and said, I even got a little bit of a tear reading this. we shall see. Maybe they needed this pause in order to get things together, because a lot of people, including myself, are like, this is just, I'm done with watching the same thing over and over again when it comes to Real Housewives of New Jersey. So we shall see what Real Housewives of New Jersey will look like in their next season. All right, so let's take a look at what Marge had to say in regards to exiting.
Hi guys, it's the Marge. I'm dialing in. I have to tell you something that might come as a little surprise to you, but not for me. I've been thinking about a lot of different things, and I am moving on from the Housewives of New Jersey, so I don't look a little more glamorous for you. I've been in the talks with the network and Andy since December. We've discussed it, and I think the timing is right. A lot of things have changed in my life. I've been blessed to work on a different project. I'm on the set right now, and I realized I have to spend more time with my family, work on my designing, and just take a break and move on. So I also wanted to say I want to thank NBC Universal, Bravo, Andy, our production company, my cast, the good and the bad. I really do love you all. I'm very grateful for this opportunity. This will not be the last you guys see of me on television. That's not a threat. It's a promise. And I'm excited for all the new opportunities. And I'm grateful for all of you for supporting me for all these years. And you will see me very, very soon back on your TV screens. Mwah. Love you.
Basically confirming she's filming a new reality show, which she is. Look, if you look back on this time of Marge on Real Housewives of New Jersey, and you look at it from a perspective of just not even being, oh, I'm team this one or team that one, you can't deny that Marge held her own on a show that was already well established. She came on in, and she had a lot of really great moments and a lot of terrible moments too. But that comes with being on reality television. It will be interesting to see what this next chapter will look like. I would hate for Marge to come back on Real Housewives of New Jersey and try to force a friendship with Teresa when she really doesn't have to. They clearly did not like each other. It would be hard to watch something like that all over again. We shall see what this will look like in a new era of New Jersey. And when I know more, I will tell you more. Okay? Or when I can tell you more. All right. Moving on from there, let's talk about Real Housewives of Potomac. So yesterday, Reality Blurb dropped their exclusive in regards to casting for Real Housewives of Potomac. What I can tell you exclusively, what I'm hearing, they're going to be filming in about less than 2 weeks. Literally, I think like 10 days. They're going to pick up the cameras for Real Housewives of New Jersey. I want to get into what Reality Blurb is reporting, and then I will tell you what I've heard from sources. Keep in mind, a lot of this information can change because, from what I've heard, some contracts have not been signed just yet. Okay, so according to Reality Blurb, they said the Real Housewives of Potomac just wrapped their 10th season. While there are always casting rumors surrounding Housewives shows, Reality Blurb has exclusively learned who is going to be a part of season 11. According to an insider, the following women who were a part of last season are all returning for the upcoming season of the hit reality show. Giselle Bryant, Karen Huger, Wendy Acefo, Ashley Darby. I was really shocked by this, y'all. Because according to my sources, Ashley is returning. And I said, what the? I was like, no. And Tia Glover. While their returns are confirmed, the insider makes it clear that their statuses as full-time housewives, however, remains up in the air as they are all auditioning to hold a champagne flute. So keep that in mind. So Ashley might return, but will she return as a full-time cast member? I have a feeling she will. In regards to Stacey Rush, they said she is absolutely returning as well and is the most secure in terms of who will be full-time. We're not shocked by that. And you may have seen rumors about Wendy Acefo not being full-time. I don't know if I believe that either. I guess that will also depend on how much she can share and how her case goes. Because if there's a situation where she's not able to film because her case goes left, that could also jeopardize her position on the show. They also mentioned regular Robyn. Robyn Dixon has also made the cut and is back to auditioning for Flute, they continue. There is also a new girl in the mix, according to them. So here's the thing. You remember I reported to you exclusively that regular Robyn was asked to return last season as a friend, and she did not want that. She decided that's not the go. According to my sources, they're saying that she is considering, of course, ideally she would prefer full-time, but full-time requires, you know what? Juan Dixon. And look, Robyn, someone clip this and send this to Robyn. Robyn, take the friend contract, because a friend of what it used to be in yesteryear is not what a friend is today. You can highlight your businesses, everything. You could do more. You're not going to feel like a friend because you're an OG on this show. Take the friend contract, because the friend contract this time around, what I'm hearing is much better. So get the friend contract. That way we don't have to even talk about your relationship with Juan Dixon. Please and thank you. Word on the street, she has not signed on the dotted line just yet. But a word on the street also is that she's possibly considering doing it. So they continue. They said, regardless of who pans out to be full-time or who becomes friend of the housewives, all of the aforementioned women will be a part of season 11, they confirmed. Robyn is not confirmed, according to my sources. Robyn is definitely not confirmed just yet, but is considering. In regards to Monique Samuels, they said as far as Monique Samuels goes, nothing has been decided thus far in terms of if she will be a part of season 11 or not. The source also confirmed that Kiarna and Angel Massey will not be a part of the next season of RHOP, insisting that's the word on the street.
Work moves fast, from emails and reports to proposals and updates. You're expected to think clearly, write confidently, and get it right the first time. And every message counts. That's where Grammarly comes in. It gives you everything you need to think, write, and finish in one place, or anywhere you type and text. You'll never have to switch tools or tabs. Grammarly's AI agents are built for how you work and where you work, so you can find the right words, adjust your tone, and predict how your message might land before you hit send. Your ideas will get a boost while still sounding natural, credible, and just the way you want. For nearly 17 years, Grammarly has been the standard for responsible AI. It's the premier writing tool that 93% of users trust to get more work done. In a world of generic AI, don't sound like everyone else. With Grammarly, you never will. Download Grammarly for free at Grammarly.com. That's Grammarly.com.
Craving the coffee flavor you love, but without the caffeine? Kachava's got you covered with their newest coffee flavor. This all-in-one nutrition shake delivers bold, authentic flavor crafted from premium decaffeinated Brazilian beans. Quality nutrition shouldn't be complicated. Just 2 scoops of Kachava's all-in-one nutrition shake, and you've got 25 grams of protein, 6 grams of fiber, greens, and so much more. Whether you're craving that coffee taste to kickstart your morning ritual, or as a nutrient-packed reward to round out your afternoon, Kachava keeps you fueled and satisfied wherever your day takes you. Plus, it actually tastes delicious. No fillers, no nonsense. Just the good stuff your body craves. And for the times you feel like switching it up, you've got 7 flavors to choose from, all with the highest quality ingredients. Treat yourself to the flavor and nutrition your body craves. Go to Kachava.com and use code NEWS. New customers get 15% off their first order. That's KACHAVA.com, code NEWS.
Well, I heard something different, y'all. And I was very shocked. I heard, according to sources, that Kiarna is coming back next season. I know. I literally went and looked at my phone and I said, what? No, there's no way. No, there's no way. There's no way. Well, according to sources, both Kiarna and Angel could possibly be coming back. I'm not trying to denounce what Reality Blurb is hearing because they probably have different sources. But according to my sources, Kiarna and Angel are still very much in the mix. So, but again, until you're signed on that dotted line and you start filming, we don't know. We don't know for 100%. But I had to do this video and talk to you about what I've heard. They continue that Robyn has not been a part of the show since season 8. In 2024, she announced her exit from the franchise on her Reasonably Shady podcast, saying, yes, I will not be returning for season 9 of The Real Housewives of Potomac. It's reality. The network did not invite me back. That's what I appreciated about Robyn. She kept it real in her statement. I remember reading this. I was fired, for lack of better words. Yes, Robyn, come on. I wish more housewives would do that. I was fired. For a lack of better words, I will not sugarcoat the situation and say, oh, I am walking away and this is a break or anything like this. This is a network decision. She added, I'm okay with it because nothing lasts forever. I've had a very long run on the show and I just really appreciate that time and the opportunity that I had on the show. And clearly they want to continue to work with Robyn because Robyn has been asked last season and now again this season to possibly return. Again, Robyn hasn't signed on the dotted line, according to my sources. Yet. I do want to mention this, though, in regards to their podcast, because Robyn and Giselle were talking about the Oscar-winning movie Sinners. Look, I can never root for regular Robyn and Giselle without them doing something for me to be like, here they go. So they were talking about the Oscar-winning movie Sinners. And this is what they had to say.
I assume you watch Sinners, right?
I've never seen it.
Oh, you haven't? Oh.
No, tell me. Because I am going to watch it, but you won't spoil it for me. Go ahead.
Okay.
I do know he played the brothers.
Yes, he played brothers. They were twins. He did a phenomenal job. They definitely had different quirks and stuff, and he did a really good job doing that. So I'm watching the movie, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. These two black men come and they open a juke joint, and okay, I'm about to watch the story of these black men building a empire. So I'm watching the show, and I kind of doze off and I fall asleep, and I wake up, and there's vampires eating people, and they're like, and there's blood everywhere. And people are, and I'm like, what are you doing, Robyn? I'm like, what is happening?
Well, and that's actually why I've never seen it, because my kids saw it and they were like, Mom, this is not for you, because that one freaked me out. I'm like, no.
That thing went, oh my God, that thing went left. It went a hard left. It's like, I said, what is happening? Oh my gosh. It was so weird. Okay. So then I had to rewatch, you have to go back. Okay, what did I miss? Because I fell asleep.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't want to shade the movie, but I don't know if this was an Oscar-worthy movie for me.
Well, but was his performance Oscar-worthy?
I don't know. I guess. I mean, he's a great actor, but I think I was just so thrown for a loop on what was happening on the movie. I just was, I can't.
Shout out to No Chaser TV for providing that video for us and listening to that podcast so we didn't have to. I'm not going to sit here and defend Sinners because clearly Sinners and the success of Sinners, both by the public and people going out to see this movie and both their peers in the industry, say that first of all, the writing has won multiple awards, including an Oscar, for how incredible this story is. And I just wish that these women, because they say a lot of ignorant things on this podcast, and you guys send it to me all the time, and I'm like, I just can't. I can't. Maybe that movie is just too deep for you, Robyn, and regular Robyn and Giselle, and you don't have to like what I like. I get it. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, but to go as far as to say, I don't think that it was Oscar worthy. Well, thank God that you guys do not make that decision. Okay. Congratulations again to Michael B. Jordan, to Ryan Coogler, the entire cast, and the entire production team. You guys did that. That's the only movie that I went to the theater and saw like twice. And then I watched it on the airplane. Then I watched it here. Incredible movie, incredible significance when you get to learn about what you're watching in the movie. But when you watch what we've seen of Giselle and Robyn over the years, then you're not completely surprised that they just don't get it, and they will never get it. Speaking of Giselle, I did want to say congratulations to her other daughter, Adore, who is now part of her sorority. She said this in her caption with a picture with her and Adore, one of the twins, for those that don't know. So much pride and joy. I'm screaming congratulations, Adore Bryant, who is now my daughter, my soror. She will forever be Gamma Theta, making her my legacy and my legacy. I love you, Adore. Ski wee. All right. I'm not going to do it. I know you don't want me to do the sound. I can't. Okay. Congratulations. That's how we're going to end it. Real nice and sweet. Word on the street, Real Housewives of Potomac. I have some more stuff that I've heard in regards to Real Housewives of Potomac, but I'll save that for our friends over there on our Club Kempire membership. Thank you for being a Club Kempire baddie. Join today on the Apple Podcast subscription, because there's more that I've heard in regards to Real Housewives of Potomac, Real Housewives of New Jersey. There's a lot of things happening in the Bravo universe, so we'll continue the conversation there, guys. Did Kandi Burruss pay millions of dollars in her settlement to Todd Tucker? Well, Kandi's breaking her silence on some of the news that's been coming out about her divorce settlement that, according to new reports, has been finally submitted to the court. Not only that, the beef between Drew Sidora and K. Michelle has been reignited here on social media after K. Michelle made an appearance on the Sherri Shepherd Show. So the new season 17 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, is fully prepared to be underway because the ladies are already out promoting it. Yesterday on the Sherri Shepherd Show, K. Michelle, Phaedra Parks, and Angela Oakley made an appearance looking stunning. They all looked great. I love the colors that they wore, even what Sherri had on. But they were giving us a heads up of what to expect during the season. We're going to play this clip under fair use, and I'll stop and go to react to it. And this is what K. Michelle had to say about what we've seen playing out on social media and what we've seen in the trailer for Real Housewives of Atlanta when it comes to a beef between K. Michelle and Drew Sidora. Sidebar, Drew Sidora is also responding to what K. Michelle had to say. When I first started Kempire Radio 15 plus years ago, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. 15 years later, now artificial intelligence has taken over and it's making your website building so easy. I'm excited to partner with Wix for today's live because Wix was the very first website that I ever used. And even back then, they made it easy. So you can imagine 15 years ago versus 2026, Wix is making it even easier with AI. So there are a couple of really cool things that you can do with Wix. With the hybrid website editor that offers the speed of AI, precision of drag and drop, and guidance of a dedicated AI agent, aka the new way to create websites. And you don't have to pay anyone to do this. You could do this yourself. Create in whatever way feels most natural to you with a platform that lets you flow freely between AI and manual controls. Because some people just let AI do whatever they want, and that is not what you want. You want to be able to do and create something that's unique to you. As I said to you before, you can launch a pro-grade website that's quality, but make it very easy for you to create. There are all kinds of really cool capabilities that they provide. Wix Harmony is packed with some of the coolest, most useful AI features and agents, built specifically for small businesses. Generate images, product descriptions, blogs, and more. Automate email marketing, SEO tasks, inventory management, and more. You even get an AI agent named Aria who can help you build your website or take care of business. Wix has been on top of AI for years, so naturally, they're the ones introducing the new way to create websites. Try Wix Harmony for free at wix.com/harmony. That's wix.com/harmony. More details on that will be available in the description. Did Kandi Burruss pay millions of dollars in her settlement to Todd Tucker? Well, Kandi's breaking her silence on some of the news that's been coming out about her divorce settlement that, according to new reports, has been finally submitted to the court. Not only that, the beef between Drew Sidora and K. Michelle has been reignited here on social media after K. Michelle made an appearance on the Sherri Shepherd Show. So the new season 17 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, is fully prepared to be underway because the ladies are already out promoting it. Yesterday on the Sherri Shepherd Show, K. Michelle, Phaedra Parks, and Angela Oakley made an appearance looking stunning. They all looked great. I love the colors that they wore, even what Sherri had on. But they were giving us a heads up of what to expect during the season. We're going to play this clip under fair use, and I'll stop and go to react to it. And this is what K. Michelle had to say about what we've seen playing out on social media and what we've seen in the trailer for Real Housewives of Atlanta when it comes to a beef between K. Michelle and Drew Sidora. Sidebar, Drew Sidora is also responding to what K. Michelle had to say.
Talk housewives over here, okay? In the trailer, you were having issues with fellow housewife Drew Sidora. Now, what's going on? Why y'all can't get along? What's happening?
I can't say a lot, but I can say it's not for what people think it is or what she would hope it would be about.
Okay.
She would hope it would be about.
And what do people think that it is? Is it about them competing in music? Because I already said this already. I said anyone with a storyline about music this season, the only person that should have a storyline about music should be K. Michelle. Because I don't want to hear about Shamia pursuing music. I don't want to hear about Drew pursuing music. But it seems like Drew will be talking about that because Drew is still actively working as a singer. She announced a live tour as well.
Music, but I don't fight about music, when something doesn't compare, so it wasn't that.
And everyone reacts in the audience to that as shade, but it's a fact. I know some people are not familiar with K. Michelle's music, maybe if you've been under a rock, but she was one of the people, along with Cardi B, to come from Love and Hip Hop and actually have a thriving, legitimate music career. As an R&B artist. She's been quiet recently because she's been working her way through the world of country music because she's always said for a long time that she wants to be a country artist.
But no, honestly, I travel all over the world. I work, platinum, gold records, all type of stuff. One thing I'm not going to do is fight about music. So okay. I think people think that that's what it's going to be. I try to support all the beginners in music.
And this is what I told you guys. I said, you all are worried about Real Housewives of Atlanta turning into Love and Hip Hop, but I also don't think you remember K. Michelle's time on Love and Hip Hop. It wasn't just about fighting or shaking the table. She had a lot of funny, quirky, shady moments that K. Michelle will go down in history as one of our most prolific when it comes to the shade in reality television. I need Sherri Shepherd to get up off the floor. This was like so dramatic, Sherri.
Fan, my good sister. No, I'm just being honest.
What I love from, and this is a Taurus thing, because when we ride for you, we ride for you. Literally, if you remember from last season, Angela Oakley was riding with Drew, and she's still apparently still riding with Drew. They're still in a good place. And she literally is like, Sherri, get up off the floor. She's one of us. We're all from Chicago. Sherri's from Chicago. Angela's from Chicago. Drew's from Chicago. And they're all Tauruses. I just realized. They're all Tauruses, except we're the May Tauruses, Angela and Drew. Sherri's an April Taurus, Shout out to the April Tauruses.
We got
Chicago, stand up. I'm from Chicago. Drew is from Chicago.
But that's your friend.
That's my girl.
How do you say neutral?
That is my girl. I love Kay. Kay and
I love that things are good between Angela and K. Michelle.
Love Drew. But Chicago, we got to stand up, Sherri. Come on.
Oh my God.
You making the city look bad. We good.
I'm gonna just ask this. I gotta watch out.
It's not about music.
It's not about music.
We gotta go deeper than music.
It's deeper than music.
I don't even know why I'm gonna ask this, but I'm gonna ask this real quick.
Is it about the man? About black? Okay.
You were with Nene at Capitol Hill. Y'all were at Capitol Hill together.
She's talking about
So
Phaedra.
because you were with Nene, Nene is Nene.
Yes,
Do you
she
want to
is.
see Nene get her peach back on the Housewives?
I love Nene. I'm gonna always love Nene, and I would love to see her back.
You would love to see Nene back.
Nene is
What a transition that was. I mean, I get it. It's daytime television. You only have like 10 minutes to do an interview. That was such a random transition. Sherry is still on the floor asking this question. Let me ask about Nene. How did we go from this shady remark, you on the floor, now we're talking about Nene? Okay.
Bring the talls back.
Girl, first of all, I don't know how you
I have to say, I loved it when Angela said bring the talls back. And if you've been an Atlanta fan, you know what she's referring to. Bring the talls back versus the smalls.
stay neutral. Because let me tell you something about me and my best friend, Niecy Nash. If something happened with me, she ready to fight everybody. I don't know how you stand.
You will see that Drew and Kay are, something you won't want to miss.
Well, I'm not
you
gonna
will not want to miss.
Miss Shady Boots over here.
Okay. Someday. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. Sherry Shepherd sometimes. I'm sorry, y'all. I just can't sometimes with Sherry Shepherd. All right, let me just play for you what exactly Drew said. Well, Drew responds on her social media, and Drew reposts the clip on her social media from RHONJ Talk, and she responds and says, "To all the beginners out there, keep going. I'm finally living my dream and preparing for my first Live Nation tour. Tickets are live." Come on. Come on. I love that. Drew has grown as a housewife. You can't deny that. I did not love her in her first season, but she's definitely grown as a housewife in regards to staying engaged. Why is Drew fighting with all the Pisces this season? She's fighting with Kelly. She's fighting with K. Michelle. Taurus and Pisces usually get along. All right, I'm here for it. But I also feel some of these things, these little shady remarks, are intentional. Like they're trying to throw the shade out there to get people excited about the season. Look, I'm in. I'll watch it. I'm ready. What about you guys? All right. So I've been seeing this story about Kandi and Todd's divorce. As you know, we reported to you that Kandi and Todd are set to settle their divorce. We did a separate video talking about they've reached a settlement, but they just had to submit this settlement to the court. Well, apparently they have submitted this settlement agreement that they've reached to the court. But before that, there were reports that Kandi paid Todd like $2 million and like $10,000 to $25,000 in monthly child support. Well, our friends over at The Neighborhood Talk had the exclusive. This was like 3 days ago they posted about this. So I've been following the story. I just have not reported on it yet. So The Neighborhood Talk reports this. They said, "Neighbors, you can't believe everything you read. Information surrounding Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker's divorce has surfaced online. But according to our source, it's false." Who's the source? Kandi? "If you recall, media outlets have been reporting that Kandi and Todd reached a settlement in their divorce with claims that she agreed to pay him a one-time $2 million settlement and that Todd walked away with control of their restaurant ventures, which are null and void." And I told you this when the news came out first that they recently settled with their landlord of the Blaze restaurant that they had. I said, I'm not surprised that we heard like the next day that they reached a divorce settlement. I think all those details, they were figuring out those things because they had a lot of businesses together. So The Neighborhood Talk spoke directly to a source close to the situation, and it's been confirmed that these headlines are false. The source went on to refer to the settlement claims as, quote, rumors, and denied knowing who was behind the misinformation. This is also something that Kandi recently addressed in regards to her saying that she wanted to have the divorce sealed because she saw a lot of people were showing up on the Zoom, like literal bloggers would show up on Zoom, and you know how Zoom is. So she reacted to that. You see these bloggers on Zoom all in their business. And a lot of things can come out, especially like your finances and being a tourist. I get why Kandi's like, I don't need you knowing all my business. Yes, I got a lot of money, but I don't need you knowing how much money I got so you can report this back to the streets. So I get it. So as of March 12th, it's been made public that Kandi and Todd settled their divorce, but the details surrounding the agreement have yet to be released. And they may never be released. Or will they? Kandi in the comment section of one of the blogs on social media said, "The stuff people be making up about my divorce settlement is crazy. Please stop. I'm like, who be coming up with this stuff?" Anything that we've reported on their divorce has been straight from the court documents. And then I've told you some of my exclusive information in regards to what the streets were saying. And I trust my sources in regards to the reasoning behind the divorce. If you missed it and you're new to the channel, just Google schmoogle it here on our channel. We've talked about it. We've had exclusive reports on this divorce. Our friends over at the Jasmine brand had their own exclusive yesterday in regards to Kandi and Todd reportedly have submitted their divorce settlement. And the judge denies that they would be able to fully seal this case. And apparently the reason why they wanted to settle this case was because of, quote, stalking claims. And it makes me wonder, are they referring to bloggers stalking the situation? I don't know. So according to Jasmine brand, they said they can exclusively report Kandi and Todd Tucker, well, Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker, have reportedly submitted a settlement in their ongoing court case, according to a source present in the courtroom, a blog. But their effort to keep details private is facing pushback. According to the source, the couple finalized their agreement following a March 11th announcement that they had reached a full and final settlement. The case has remained open as the court awaited the completed documents. During the latest hearing, the source says that a motion was presented to seal the case records, citing concerns that the couple had been stalked and arguing that the sealing of the file would protect their children. However, the judge declined to fully seal the case at this time. I wonder what the justification for that was. Maybe they didn't feel like the actual stalking claims were real. Instead, the court indicated it may consider a more limited approach, potentially sealing sensitive details such as financial information and addresses, rather than restricting access to the entire case. Which I can understand and I can appreciate that because, like I just mentioned, I'm sure Kandi does not want all of us knowing her finances or how much Todd gets in this divorce. Because I do believe Todd is going to get something in this divorce because they had joint ventures together. But I don't believe he's going to get anything before their marriage, like her home. Has he moved out of the guest house? That was in the court documents. So I was in the middle of editing this video when I saw that we had an update in regards to the judge's decision when it comes to Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker's divorce and what they would seal versus what they wouldn't seal. Shout out to our friends over on X Documentings. They report this court update. In the divorce matter regarding Kandi Burruss versus Todd Tucker, a Georgia judge has ruled on allowing some details to be sealed, but refusing to hide the case entirely. Things that will be sealed: parenting plan details, locations, schedules, sealed for 25 years. They said sensitive business and financial sections of the settlement, sealed up to 99 years. Child support financials stay public. They even highlight the actual motion to seal in regards to what it says. The order to the above-styled case came before the court for a hearing on petitioner's motion for confidentiality order and motion to seal March 23rd, 2026. So they show the actual proven documents in regards to this. As mentioned in this video that I've been working on, there are certain details that will be sealed, but the child support financials will remain public. I, again, would love to understand the justification for why certain things will be sealed and other things will not be sealed. Maybe they feel like the child support financials. Again, I just don't understand why that needs to be public. Or why the other side, Todd Tucker, would fight for that information to be public. If it's going to safeguard everyone involved, well, maybe Todd, what a lot of people have been saying about Kandi over the years, feels like, well, she's a public person and she could spin this information any way she wants to spin it, while I can't and I don't have the same platform. Because let's be honest, Kandi's the only person that's talked about this divorce outside of the media and people aware of the court documents. She's the only one that's spoken about this divorce. He hasn't. He's made little comments on social media, but other than that, not really. If anything, he supported her in regards to her recent sold-out City Winery show that she just announced sold out in 24 hours. He posted up about that. So is he basically trying to paint himself in a certain way? I mean, sometimes, again, a lot of people can learn from what Todd is doing. People can say all kinds of things about him, but he hasn't spoken ill of Kandi on social media. He hasn't been messy. Can you imagine if this was Peter Thomas right now? Okay. So they continue. They said the development follows a prior court order requiring the parties to submit finalized documents by March 20th or risk dismissal without prejudice. It remains unclear what additional rulings may follow regarding what information, if any, will ultimately be kept private. So that's what we know so far in regard to this divorce. So the reports that he got a $2 million settlement and that he's making $10,000 to $25,000 a month in regards to child support, apparently that information is not true. But do I believe that Todd is going to walk away much better than he walked into the marriage? Yes, both financially, but also with a reputation. Now he is someone that people know, and he has this whole resume of producing and working with Kandi on multiple projects, from restaurants to Broadway. Todd might be the opportunist that they called him back in season 6. And you remember, we did a whole rewatch recap. If you missed that here on the channel, Google Schmoogle, we did a whole rewatch of that season. And now you're just sort of like, Todd. I'm not saying that Todd didn't earn or deserve what he's gotten, but it's things that make you go, okay? Things that make you go home. Despite that, they had many years of marriage, 2 beautiful children that they're going to have to co-parent together. And based on what Kandi has said recently, she has no concerns that they wouldn't be able to continue to have a very amicable co-parenting situation. And honestly, that is the best news of this story. Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. Don't forget to give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And for more information on the podcast, head on over to KempireRadio.com.